Welcome viewers to ATV Africa, Nigerian first internet radio and web TV on education. Today on trending issue on education, I have with me our in-house analyst in person of Mr. Omowale. Omowale, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me. It's always good to be here, sir.
You are looking good today.
Thank you very much, sir.
Traditionally, you are looking take away.
Thank you, sir. You are not looking bad yourself, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, viewers. Today, we have a very interesting topic. It's going to be an interactive section between myself and Wale. It's nothing else than the Student Loan Act 2024. A few days back, precisely 48 hours ago, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed to the Amended Act, Student Loan Act 2024. We want to have some discussion, interactive discussion between myself and my good friend. If I call him Nene friend, he's not a bad, but he's not a lawyer. I can't refer to him as Nene friend. So I want to refer to my good friend here to discuss along with me the Student Loan Act 2024. Wale, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, you're welcome. Now, with your understanding, how do you see the student loan? Is it does this act law comes at the right time, or it is not yet for something like this in this country?
No, I would think it's a welcome idea.
Yeah.
In the sense that you would even imagine I wouldn't say it's coming at a bad time.
Okay.
Because something good is always a welcome idea, regardless of the time.
Okay.
For me personally, politics aside, I think it's a brilliant idea.
Okay.
It shows that we have a president who has the interest, who has the thoughts of the students at heart, and the students, however you want to look at it,
Okay.
are the foundation of the nation.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't say it's coming at a bad time. This Students' Loan Act that was signed into law, it's nothing bad at all. In fact, it makes you wonder, it makes you question the past leaders.
Yes.
It makes you want to ask questions like, why didn't anybody think about this before this time?
Yeah.
Because this has always been in practice in far advanced countries.
Yeah.
So it makes you even want to ask, why hasn't anybody thought of it?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's a bad thing at all. I would say it's, regardless of the timing that is coming on board, it's a welcome idea.
That means what we are saying in essence is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a listening president.
Truly.
And a man who values education, and a man who values the youth of Nigeria. I think he is very, very aware that some parents also, Nigerian, because of the economy also,
Truly.
have these challenges sending their children to school. And he thinks, okay, you since it's been done in other countries, Ireland it's been done in the US and other European countries.
Before now, we've been reading about it abroad. It has been in existence. You hear of students' loan, you hear of scholarship. Though they might call it other names in far advanced countries. Yeah. In Europe, they call it, some might call it scholarship scheme, some might call it students, anything. Yeah. So long as it helps, takes financial burden off the student and the sponsors of the student.
That's good.
That's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Are you also aware that this act, this law came up in 2023, but later was sent back to the National House of Assembly for re-amendment? And are you also aware of that?
Yes, I was aware. I read about it. That it has some, should I say, some lapses.
Yeah.
So it wasn't signed into law as of 2023. Though unfortunately, it is so fortunate that in the country that we are in today, news tends to die fast. As well as they tend to break very fast. The breaking of one news leads to the forgetting of another news. So I would say we didn't really follow up on that, the cancellation of that, that law. But then it's a good thing, like I said earlier, that we have a president that brought that back up. But I'm bringing that up now and signing it into law. The success of signing it into law actually helps us to, look back, mirror back, and ask what actually happened to the old one, why it didn't, wasn't passed into law.
I have some things here. It's like why the student loan was amended. The main reason behind the amendment of the Student Loan Act was that was signed by Mr. President April 3rd, precisely the challenges with the previous act major on the what they call it issues related to the governance management and the purpose of the loan, eligibility, criteria for applicants, method of application, repayment period, and recovery of the loan. Yes, I think that those are part of the reasons. And also we have so many interactions that today we are going to the loan proper and it's when they say any applicant for the loan under this act must be a citizen of Nigeria, which is compulsory.
Of course. It is quite understandable. Quite understandable.
You can't expect a Ghanaian Togolese to come and take a loan.
It is an initiative for Nigeria. Yes. And why not? Why shouldn't Nigeria be the first benefactors?
Okay.
Of course.
That's also good. That's also good. And also the student that can apply for this loan must also have got an admission to either study the university, the polytechnic, college of education, and school established by the federal government. Also vocational centers and skills centers. That means not only for professionals who are going for degree or who are in the HND alone. Skill acquisition centers that are approved by federal government, by either National Board for Technical Education, National University Commission, or Commission of College of Education stuff. So it is not Nigeria. So it is not only meant for undergraduate university.
It's not limited. It's actually an initiative that covers all aspects of our education. As long as education, it stretches beyond just getting a degree. Education centers around getting a degree, getting knowledge, and the application of that knowledge.
So for those of you who are into skill acquisitions, you can also benefit. So it is only not meant for BSc, BEd, or medical students or any. So acquisition centers, if you also want to benefit, you can also go through the normal channels. We should not be telling you what to do now. You should know you should be registered in Nigeria as a vocational center. So the new amendment, Access to Higher Education Act 2024, that was signed into law by Mr. President few days ago, and let me read what we have in the law. It said, establish the Nigerian Educational Law Fund, and as a corporate organization that can also be sued, and it names has the power to acquire movable and unmovable properties. That is the body that we look into this loan. They said they can be sued, also can sue. So that means they are an entity. If you are not if you are also not contented or not in line with what they are doing, they can be sued. And they can also sue you for maybe defiling the authority and stuff. And so what can you say about this?
I think law and order is essential in all our dealings. I think putting that in place over the years, one of the core Nigerian problems has been that supremacy over the law. You tend to see some bodies that do not have anybody that supersedes them to veto their actions, to oversee their actions. So as a result, it leaves them to be the judge and jury of whatever it is, thereby allowing some elements to monopolize the whole process. But I think this checkmates the action of that entity now. At least with this in place, the law in place now guides that entity. You know the entity you are dealing with. You know the entity that is dealing with you. That way, people are held accountable, accountability. That way, because it has been stated now that the entity can actually be sued, and they could as well sue anybody that defaults on the binding conditions on ground. So I think it's good. It's a welcome.
It's a welcome. Everybody also actually. In fact, the NAS, National Association of Nigerians, they also clap for Mr. President. Actually, I was aware a few days ago where the NAS and the ASU also were disagreeing on some facts concerning this law. Concerning the bill. But I felt that I think it has been resolved because ASU, on the other hand, the activists. They want to disagree on everything. And they want to disagree on everything with the federal government or with the Minister of Education.
But I think looking closely at this law that was signed into law, it's hard to even kick against it because in this case, because it was suggested before now in 2023 and it didn't make it through the bill. But making it through the bill now shows that they've actually gone back to the drawing board to consider all aspects.
Yeah.
So for it to pass and got signed into law now, it then means that they've done quite a number of homework. So it's even hard.
Adjustments.
It will be hard for even ASU to kick against it because it is something that benefits the students of Nigeria, and whatever be your qualification, whatever field of endeavor you find yourself, definitely you must have passed through the school to get to that particular position. So it's such an idea, an initiative that cannot be kicked against so easily.
So viewers, let me now go on a short break. I'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. I still have my good friend with me in the studio, Omowale. Now, Omowale, I want to read to you. It says student applying for the loan must apply through the chairman of the Nigerian Educational Bank through their respective institution. So, each institution will have a center. Which likely going to be a bank because we don't know yet, and they will apply through some of these institutions. They said, what I want to bring out is that they must have secure admission into any Nigerian universities, polytechnic, college of education, or any vocational school established by the federal government or owned by a private registered with the federal government. So now, ASU, lecturers, school body, now I don't think they have objection now because the application comes through them.
Through them, of course.
Yes. So, what do you say about that? Is it a good one?
No, it's a good one. In the sense that the whole idea of this bill was actually intended for students.
Yes.
And to aid non-students who have aspirations of being students. Because it is actually a loan for students, it is only proper, it is only right for it to go through the school channel. So that way you cop and you keep away impersonators. So you don't have people who are non-students coming in and claiming to be students and then collecting. That way you see that it will checkmate them to help create accountability even on the aspect of the school, the students, and the bank that's provided.
Part of the requirement that was stated there said the applicant must provide 2 guarantors. Each of the guarantor must be a civil servant of nothing less than level 12 for 12 years in service, the lawyer with at least 10 years working experience, a judicial officer, either a notary public or a justice of peace. And another one again that is stated there, all applicants from every institution must submitted through the student affair of the school. That means the directorate of school student affairs. So you cannot come from anywhere. You must cover. And the school must give you a covering letter that you are through the vice chancellor that you are a bona fide student, so that you cannot cross from UI to IFE or from Ladu Kaketola University to Federal University of Technology and Government. So that you are actually the student of that institution.
Truly. Before you can actually be benefactor.
Yes, and the school or the dean of school of student affairs must recognize you, acknowledge you. So I think that is another good one.
I think it's a good one too.
And the student who is applying, the applicant must have a copy of the student admission letter.
Truly, surely.
Which is very important.
That's the first proof.
That is the first proof. You're right. The other condition for the applicant is that letter of guarantor addressed to the chairman, governing board of the bank recommending the student. You must write an application so that I need a loan for social amounts and social. The another one again says each guarantor must submit 2 passport photographs. 2 passport photographs, the name of the employer, that's the name of the employer of the guarantor, and evidence of being being employed by the organization, that the guarantor must be fully employed, and that the federal ministry, state ministry, or any local government, or if you are a lawyer, you also provide a letter to show that you are also this. Then each institution must ensure all application from the school must reach the bank nothing less than 30 days after the close of admission. That means if admission is closing, the school must send the list of the applicants and all the forms and everything to the banks for verification and stuff. Yeah, the fifth condition for the guarantor is that where the guarantor is self-employed, he must also provide particulars of his business. Like I told you earlier, if you are self-employed, you must have been registered with the CAC and any other appropriate authority, like other certification that you need to prove that you are self-employed. Not necessarily you are government workers. Those are the conditions for the.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I think in a way, again, it helps us trace all applicants that the students now to their roots, to the particular societies where they belong to, from the idea of the guarantors and the level they are in the society, even the lawyers that will stand as guarantors for them, and then the employees that would stand in for them. It's also a way of tracing these kids, these benefactors back to the society.
There's another thing that came to my mind there is that those registered companies who refuse to pay tax.
Of course, that's another way of checkmating. It's all a piece that comes together.
Exactly. Now they all pay tax because they must pay tax.
It's all a piece because when you don't just have anyone in the society claim to be students. That way, by way of demanding for guarantors, you get to trace the good and the bad sides of the society. At least a level 12 civil servant wouldn't want to stand in for a bad person in the society. That's another way of even filtering our society. That way it makes people sit up. Okay, for me to be eligible for this particular, I must be well behaved, because the people that are going to stand as guarantors have their personalities at stake. They have their image and reputation to protect as well. So it's a way of even checkmating the society. I think it's a good one.
Now, the qualification of applicant, which is the student, he is proven to have defaulted in respect of previous loan granted by any organization. So if you have defaulted in a loan, shark ban.
That means that they would have to even bring in the credit bureau of the country.
Yes, sure.
To actually check all of this.
Sure, my name.
Because how would we be sure if applicants have subsequent loans that are still hanging? So that's
another way of, like you said, of making Nigerians behave well. The number two said he has been found guilty of exam malpractices by any school authority. That means you cannot run from school A to school B. You are found
you have an issue.
Yeah, so you are not supposed to go for. That's another area also.
That's another good. If we are sponsoring people, they have to be up and doing, upstanding.
Yes.
Because whoever we are sponsoring, whether we like it or not, is going to be an ambassador to the nation outside, or even within and outside the nation. So we want to sponsor.
In fact, henceforth after the 5-10 years, but when the result comes back, we won't have the politicians who probably they said cheated in the school or was involved in school riot or anything. Will not be beneficial.
We have responsible people representing
exactly. In fact, this amendment is okay. The third one said that he is if he is convicted of a felony or any office involved in dishonesty, maybe when he was in school, in another school, that same school, year 1 or year 2, maybe he committed a felony or a disturbance in the school. Maybe he's found he has been guilty of a criminal act, or so that kind of person cannot apply.
Of course, I'm sure because since the applicant will be applying through the Directorate of Students
Affairs, that's the way.
They should have a record to checkmate that. They wouldn't want, because whoever is even coming as an applicant through a particular institution is directly or indirectly an ambassador, a representative of that school. So whatever be the behavior or the outcome of that particular applicant, it rubs off on the image of the school. And I'm sure the school
also
have their
very,
image
very careful. Exactly. So that by the time they is scrolling and they said this number of students are not qualified, they begin to see that they're involved in malpractice, they're involved in criminal activities, or they caught in wanting on
good or bad, it reflects back on the image of the school. And I'm sure the school too would want to protect their image.
In fact, the school authority, the senate of this school, you're welcome. So another one said again, he has been convicted of drug offense. Part of what we are saying. Those
part of what we are saying.
Engaged in drug abuse or drug carriers or stuff.
Whatever.
Recently, we begin to hear some undergraduate students carrying drugs being caught at the airport, being caught at the border of the
person
country.
has any record, whatever vice it is.
Exactly.
Vice.
It's another one said, any of his parents, this is another one, are defaulted in respect of student loan in any granted. So this is the first one. So there can be a case of defaulted in student loan. But as time goes on, you understand, if your parents must have defaulted.
Since this is the pioneering
pioneering level.
We can't have that.
You can't have that, exactly.
But subsequently, after we proceed.
Maybe you have a child A in this social school, child B in social school.
And it so happens that child A has finished.
And you are not paying. So that's another one. Another one here is that again, where we are going to round up this section. Viewers, please, we want to be a regular viewers on our YouTube page. Please go to www.youtube.com/AirTVAfrica. Go and subscribe. We need you. We want you to view our own education. AirTV Africa is Nigerian first internet radio and web TV on education. We specialize in giving you news, carrying you along what is happening in the nation, especially in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. But presently we are talking about Nigeria, the Student Loan Act 2024. Please, you are welcome. Now again, when I come to the last segment of this interactive section, they said repayment of loan, which is very important.
That's a very part of it, key part of it.
So how do I pay?
How do
my son pay? How do my daughter pay? So parent, we said, how do your son pay after taking this loan? Maybe it's in thousands or it's a million. Maybe he has collected loan for a year and maybe he's studying law. How these school fees and school tuition fees are now and any other things. Now, all beneficiaries of the loan shall commence repayment 2 years after completion of NYSC. So beneficiary students to start paying 2 years. How do you say that? Initially, the first law that was amended said they pay immediately after NYSC. They are giving the provision of 2 years, assuming the graduates or the graduate have not even seen getting a good job for 2 years. What do you think about that?
I think it is a good one, but I think more could be done in that aspect. In the sense that the nation, the state of the nation as it is right now, we have coppers, we have youths who finish school, finish their NYC, and 2-3 years into the labor market after NYC, still are not able to secure a meaningful, a well-paying job. So we have to put account that factor. We have to put that factor into account as well. Not everybody will be so lucky in a very, very should I say, an economically challenged nation like Nigeria. It is not certain that 80% of these applicants who will turn out to be graduates will actually secure
a good job,
meaningful job,
paying job,
to actually meet up and repay their loan within that period of 2 years. So I think it is a good one that they extended the timeline. But they could actually do more in the aspect of producing employers rather than just students, right? Because the terrain, the Nigerian academic terrain now, is fast growing over the years, over the decades. It has even grown bigger than the labor market because year in, year out, you see institutions churning out millions of graduates.
You have over 100,000, 137, 147.
So many. I don't have the stats right now, but year in, year out, you see institutions churning out graduates, and the scale is not balanced. There's no equilibrium between the number of graduates that are coming out and the employment and organizations that will actually employ them and give them gainful employment. So more should be done in that aspect. Maybe another form of grants should be raised that would, specialize or focus on that aspect of job creation or building job creators. We're talking about entrepreneurs, people that maybe those grants will be available for people who have business ideas, and there should be a committee that would, before giving you loan for, establishing that business, there will be a panel, a hearing, so to say. Even this bill, before it was passed, there was a hearing about it. So in the light of looking towards creating entrepreneurs rather than just graduates, that there should be a funding system on grant, like a grant that will hear out these graduates, see their ideas are actually sellable. In the advanced country like China, this is how they got to be a country that has so much millionaires, from ideas to people that support the ideas, thereby everybody that's involved becomes millionaire. So there should be a scheme, a funding ground that would channel our graduates into being entrepreneurs rather than just job seekers.
Nice.
Because actually, right now we have more of job seekers than gainfully employed youths. So I think they could do more in that aspect. The 2 years timeline for repayment is okay, but they could do more. There's room for improvement.
Okay, that's nice.
That's nice.
You just related. Now the other condition for repayment of loan said number 2 is that repayment shall be by direct deduction of 10% of the beneficiary's salary at source by the employer and credit to the student loan account.
I think that's a good one as well.
Just 10%.
Just 10%. I think it's a good one. That way you wouldn't, inconvenience the person in a bid to pay off loan. You won't make the person fall off again in other aspects.
Just
I think it's okay. I think it was well thought out.
Yes.
I think it was well thought out. The wait was worth it.
Yes.
Because in fact, I didn't think about all of these aspects.
Yeah.
It seems the federal government actually took their time.
Yeah, that's why it was repealed, amended.
I think it's a good one. Because I personally, I didn't think of all these aspects.
This is a nice
so 10% is not bad.
Kudos to our president.
10% is not bad.
Kudos to you, my Mr. President. From here till we say kudos to you. Kudos to Mr. President. And
good one.
Members of the National House of Assembly, the House of Rep, and
more of things
like this should come to Nigerian youth and education. I will be right back. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers, to the concluding part of this discussion, trending issue and education. And what we're discussing today, interactive session with myself and Omowale, is the Student Loan Act 2024, and the do's and don'ts, the benefits, and what others concern the loan. We come to the concluding part of this interactive session. Omowale, what do you want to tell viewers?
Basically, I'd like to tell them to, seize the opportunity. Before now, we've been in a country where I would say our past leaders didn't really pay much attention to the youths in terms of in the area of academics. Yeah. But here we have a leader now, in terms of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who it seems to be paying attention to the students through education. Yeah. So I think our people, we've been known with this trend of not minding something, not taking a closer look at something before we criticize it. You hear people saying things like, it's not real.
Yes.
They just want to chop money with it. Try, if you don't go closer, if you don't show interest in something, you might not understand what is involved. So I would advise parents and students alike and schools, institutions, higher institutions, to take a closer look at it and delve into it and, try and create that chance, because there are actually so many people out there who are bright, who are brilliant, who are potential market shakers of the communities and country at large that don't have opportunities to go to school due to financial, hindrances, due to economic problem and all of that. So I advise us Nigerians to visit it, to greet it with an open hand, to look at it closely and try and see what it even entails before we criticize it. We are very big at criticizing things in this country. We should welcome it with an open mind and see if actually the benefits are actually real. Of course, it has been signed into bill, so at least for a start, the government, the president has shown interest. So why don't we just welcome it and try and see what we can make out of it? It is for us. It is not for the government. Yes. The government is doing it for us. So if we just sit back and greet it with reluctance, then the purpose is defeated. So I think we should delve into it and try and see how we can work it out. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Viewers, he said we should try it, delve into it, experience it before we go on criticizing it. So we don't say don't criticize, but go into it, see the goodness in it, see the good aspect of that Student Loan Act 2024, and believing that Nigerian students will surely benefit, and parents will be a bit relief. Parents will be a bit relief in this country, and actually this is another way of reducing level of literacy in this country. Another big angle. My parent does not have money to send me to school. That's why I didn't go to school. I couldn't finish my education because my parents could not. It's not possible now. If you tell me that, I'll tell you go to your institution and go and apply for a student. So viewers, this is the beginning, just interactive session between myself and Wale. We are going to have more guests on this topic. So please sit, fold, and go back to our YouTube page. I said www.youtube.com/@AirTV Africa. We are there for you. 24 hours of videos are there. Watch and, like I said, subscribe. Please help us to subscribe so that we can remain in this business. We can be giving you trending issue on education. We can bring a lot of professionals here for you to see and analyze topics, analyze views like this. Thank you. I still remain Faboye Abidemi Abifab, your regular host on trending issue on education here on AirTV. I welcome my.
Thank you. It's nice having you. It's nice being here with you, sir. Okay. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. I say bye for now. Thank you.